Hi, Jim Brandt with Best Practical here. Today's video is for the administrators out there. So if you are an administrator, maybe you have SuperUser on your request tracker, chances are at some point you've been under this menu here, Admin Scripts. So scripts are the automation engine inside of RT. It takes care of all the automated tasks. As you can see in the list here, many of them are notifications or sending email, but there's also all sorts of other things you can do with scripts to automate things so that, for example, when a ticket is resolved, you go do some other thing, maybe call an API in another system, something like that. All sorts of things you can do in this section. To make that easy, you can actually write custom code right into scripts for whatever it is that you might have to do, in addition to using the conditions and actions that are provided with RT. So when you're working on that custom code, often you might have to do a little bit of debugging as you first start working on that. And what we've done is added a feature to try to make it a little bit easier when you do that debugging. So I've got an example script right here. If you look on transaction, output to log, we'll just click on that. And basically it's just a testing script just so that we can see what it looks like when some of the output comes out. So you can see down on the bottom, I've got this user defined condition and action. And if we look down here, these are just log statements. All they're doing is outputting to the log just so that we basically know that this step ran. So there's a condition step that's going to run, and then return one. It's just going to keep going because that's true. And then there's another debug for the preparation or the prepare step. And then there's another one for the commit at the end. And you can see up at the top here, this runs on transaction. That means on anything. So I can just go do anything and it'll cause this thing to run. Now, if you're doing some development and you wanted to maybe see what was happening as this went along, you can now turn on this new option. So this option is called LogScripsForUser. And what it does is it enables logging. So that's the first part, the log scripts. And then what we have for the configuration is to make it so that it only runs for maybe you're doing your development. In the configuration, you can put in your username, your RT username, and then the debug level that you want to be running at while you're doing your development. So again, if you're working on some new code, you probably want to use that debug, which is going to be sort of the most explicit kind of debugging. You're going to see the most log output with that set. And this allows you to set things up where you can see what the output is, but you're not going to cause tons of extra logging to go to your general RT log. It's pretty much kind of creates like just a little logging window just for you while you're doing your development. So let's go in and turn that on, and we can do it right through the interface here. So admin, tool system configuration. And if I go over to edit here, and then I can just search for that. So LogScripsForUser. Right there. You can see down the bottom here. And if I want to do it, I'm just logged in as the root user right now, but that can be any RT user. And I'm going to turn on the debug level, which is going to give me the most output. So if I save that, and then we go back, and as I mentioned, anything that I do is going to cause some output to go to the log. So if we just come over here, I can just grab any one of these test tickets I have here. So let's just do a comment, just so we have a change on this ticket. Just do a test. And now if I go back over to that scripts page, what we'll see is there's now output here, right? So there's this new log output column. And if a script had output on the last time that it ran, so it just keeps the most recent run. So there's not going to be like a whole list of logs in there. If you want to see new output, you just go, perform your action again. It will get updated. So just doing that, again, I did a comment. So these first two are on comment. And at the debug level, there was actually output for those. And then this was the test one that we looked at, right? And we can see that there was some output on that. It's a link. I can just click right on that link and it goes right to this log output tab on the script, and now we have a logging information for each of those three components to the script as it ran. And you can see this is basically the log message right here that I had in there. And if I had more, they would just all output, and it'll scroll if you have a lot of output. And then it gives you some extra information as to when it was output, just so that if you're looking and you're like, was this stale? Is this from a week ago, or did this just happen? You've got that output, and it'll also be clear about the user, that whoever triggered this, and then the log level that you had set. So all of that new output is available to you right in the browser if you turn it on, and then when you're done with your development, you can just go back in and turn that off, and it'll quiet down the logging again for you. So we think this is going to be a really useful feature, and for all the admins out there, we hope you get a chance to use it soon.